We need your support for the Medicine Man Gallery channel, so make sure to click the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video, which we do every morning on Wednesday and Friday. See you soon. I'd like to talk to you about signatures of Maria Martinez pottery. Clearly, she's one of the best-known potters ever. She's from San Ildefonso Pueblo, and you really need to understand what signatures were done at what time frame to understand the whole history of the pottery. And also, when you're pricing things, certain signatures seem to have a little more value than others. So let's talk about Maria and when her signatures would have been seen. Her earliest signature is Marie, M-A-R-I-E, and that would have been done somewhere between about 1925 to the early 30s, maybe 32. Now, Julian, her husband, is working with Maria. She does the pottery as far as making the pot, as far as taking the polishing stones and polishing the piece. But Julian did all the painting. So even though it's signed Marie, it still was done by Marie and Julian. The next signature, about 1932, signature would be Marie and Julian. And this is, she realized at this point, well, I should put my husband's work on here, his name, because he's doing the work as well. So they would say Marie with an E and Julian. And this was used until 1943 upon his death. And when he died, then she started working with her daughter-in-law, Santana, who was married to her son, Adam. And they would be Marie with an E again and Santana. And it's also kind of hard to tell some of the imagery difference-wise from a Santana and a Julian, but generally in the Julian pieces you'll see more uses of geometric designs, you'll see more imagery of avenues, and with the Maria and Santana, or Marie and Santana, you'll see more of the members' feathers. You'll still see the avenue, but there are some geometric designs that you can tell, and the form designs. She did progress as she went along, and we'll talk about that in a different lecture. Now, in 1956, Maria started working, was still working with Santana, but she started changing the name to M-A-R-I-A, so an A. And that was really only a small period, somewhere around 1956. You will see some pots that are signed Maria and Santana that were probably done by Santana and signed that way. I mean, she worked with her for 13 years. So the difference is when Maria and Santana with an A were working together, and when they weren't, the pots I feel like they're a little heavier than the earlier pots. Now, starting about this time frame, 57, she started working with her son, Popovi, and these can be some of the most valuable pots. You would think that because they're later, they wouldn't be, but the fact is they were so beautifully done, and he would do interesting things like do sienna, and he added turquoise, and he really made some fantastic design elements. He was a great potter as far as firing. So these would be signed Marie and Popovi. And between about 1957 and 1960 to 61, they would have just been signed Marie and Popovi. But starting right around 1961, Popovi also would add the time frame, the date. So you'll see something like it'll say 161 or 768. And these images of the dates tell you exactly when the pot was made. Now, Popovi died in 71, so at that point, really Maria kind of slowed down on making her pottery and really kind of stopped making pottery, and she died in 1980. But from that same time frame when she was making pots with Popovi, she made her own. And these would say Maria Povica. And these really are the ones that are made strictly by Maria because they're plain pots. They don't have any embellishment with designs, but they're beautifully polished. They're usually round, little simple pots. Sometimes they can be a little bigger. But if they're signed Maria Povica, those are the ones that are made just by her, and those are, again, at the later time frame. So there's a bunch of signatures you really need to understand if you want to know the chronology of when she made the pots. And these are really good tools for you to use when you're trying to figure out how old's my Maria. Medicine Man Gallery, located for over 26 years in Tucson, Arizona, specializing in antique Native American art, early Western art, including the famed Maynard Dixon, as well as modern art. You can find everything online at medicinemangallery.com. There's over 6,000 objects to select from. Also, the Charles Bloom Murder Mystery Series, written by yours truly, me, Mark Sublette. There's 6 books in this series, and they follow the protagonist Charles Bloom through all the intrigue of the art world set in Santa Fe and the Navajo Nation. These can be found on Audible,
ebooks, Amazon, and of course, the gallery at medicinemangallery.com.